Hello humans, Master Dinnerflex here, bringing you the low quality content you deserve, and today I'll be going over a new concept for the Exosister engine. Now, originally I posted this video several months ago, pretty much when these cards were just announced, and the basic premise of this was using the trap Exosister Vadis as just a beefy, more conditional artifact sanctum. And while it was really neat, and it had a lot of really strong plays, it wasn't very impactful in the grand scheme of things. And also, it didn't really have a deck that I could possibly think of that it fit into. However, something interesting came out recently for this deck, called Exosister Magnifica, whatever. And despite the fact that how much I shit on how terrible this deck is, this is one of the coolest XE monsters ever printed, and it's not even close. So the thing about the Exosisters in general is they're like super dependent on your opponent to do much of anything. However, if you could just play their XCs, that sounds exceptional, because the whole problem with the deck is the XCs don't get really good until the main deck monsters come into play, but the entirety of the main deck Exosister lineup is awful. It's awful, but the extra deck monsters are insane, so what's the compromise? Well, it's this card. When I said this is one of the coolest XCs ever, it's because of the fact that this is an XC that was designed by someone in 2012. You could easily have heard someone during that time period say, "Oh man, I can't wait until we get XC monsters that Synchro XC." Because that's what this is. This is a rank 8 that requires 2 rank 4 Exosister monsters. So, now that I've got all the fanfare out of the way, what does this card actually do? Well, it has to be XE summoned with the proper materials, so you can't bring this out with Metamorphosis. This card can make 2 attacks, which is nice. It effectively, as weird as it is, it feels like it's supposed to just be those at the same time while not being, and you'll see why. Once per turn, quick effect, so we can do this during either player's turn, you can attach a material from this card, banish 1 card your opponent controls. Doesn't target. So that's pretty nice. A very exceptional disruption. And then here's where it gets very interesting. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can return 1 XE material attached to this card under it, put it back in your extra deck, and then XE summon it using this as a material. So you effectively just turn it into another XC that's under it. And that is very insane. And I'm going to show you why this is insane. So let's get into the combo. Now this combo sounds a little difficult, but when you actually think about what kind of decks you would play a bunch of rank 4s in, it doesn't seem that difficult at all. What you need is 3 level 4 monsters. So let's do the most powerful combo to get level 4 monsters on board. WoW Warrior, normal summon Rescue Rabbit to summon more WoW Warriors. A very, very powerful board, I know. And we're going to overlay 2 of the level 4s into this rank 4. So, the thing about the Exosisters, like I said, they get really good when they have materials from their main deck under them. However, the other effects... let's see, right here. You can detach 1 material from this card, add 1 Exosister monster from your deck to your hand. That doesn't care what materials are used. So we can just use 2 level 4s, and we are going to search this one. This is the only good main deck Exosister monster. Because if you control an Exosister, just special summon it. So it's King of the Pharaoh Lamps, which is nice. And then we can overlay those 2 level 4s into this one. Now, this one will actually get its effect, so if we're going second, we can use it, and its effect, when it has a sister under it, you can target a card your opponent controls or in their graveyard, banish it. So, a banish. and we can detach a material from this card, and we can search Exosister this spell card, and it's a quick play. However, it's much more a trap than a quick play. And now, we can just overlay these 2 rank 4s for this rank 8, and there we go. Now, we have this. Let me demonstrate what exactly is going on here. So, as a quick effect, you can just detach either material, banish something your opponent controls, and when they commit to effect, you just turn it into the XC that's still under it, which, let's say, we banish something, they activate Alistair the Invoker, we turn it into Malky's, and we can banish the Alistair, and then finally, when we're done with all that, we still have this. We can pay 800 life points to turn any Exorcister on the field into a different one from your extra deck. Now, here's a perfect example. This one is the Abyss Dweller if it uses an Exorcister as material. So your opponent can't use any graveyard effects this turn. Or if you're actually in an interactive game state where those 2 banishes really mattered, this one is probably more relevant because you're actually playing the game and you want to make sure you're actually stopping your opponent. While it's summoned the turn, it has an Exorcister as material. You can target an effect monster your opponent controls and negate its effects. So it's 3 point of interactions from this combo, which is nice. But like I was saying earlier, you can really trade into any of these 4 at this point, because all of them can have relevant effects. All of them are very good, whether they're using a material or they're just summoned with these weird effects. This one, it prevents either player from specialing from the graveyard. This one negates card effects in the graveyard. This one negates monster effects on field. And this one banishes a card on the field or in graveyard. And this naturally banishes a card your opponent controls. So just with very, very little setup for any rank 4 deck you would be playing, you get to set up a lot of disruptions. And this is kind of neat. I want to test with this more, and I kind of want to figure this out, because putting 3 level 4s isn't a difficult task at all. I'm curious to see what I can do with this, but yep, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I don't got much to say. I might test this engine and other things, because, like I said, 3 level 4s is nothing, but we'll see what I can make. Thank you all for watching, and remember, Master Dinnerflex will take your soul.